Hi, welcome to Yo Soy. We're here downtown Fresno at CMAC. We'd love you to come down and take a tour.
You get referrals from the court system, and there's self-referrals, and they meet with our director, and he determines, eligibility to come in. Naomi's House is a shelter for single homeless women. It is the only shelter in Fresno County for single homeless women. Access services or shelter. Okay. So we're one of the only low barrier shelters. Managers, we have.
Oh, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, pretty good. And your name is?
Susan.
Susan. And your name is?
I'm Rosemary.
Hi, Rosemary. And what do you ladies do?
Oh yes, we meet with them weekly. And we set up a goal plan and things like that to get them back on their feet. And, we help them accomplish whatever they need to accomplish as far as if it needs to even just get to GR and, get established there with them, or if it's just going to get food stamps or start their Social Security.
Usually lose every piece of paperwork they've ever had. ID, Social Security card, proof of income, anything. And they can't get any kind of assistance without those things. So we work as hard as we can to get them all documented.
My job here to make sure it's more successful and to raise the level of excellence here at Naomi's House.
Okay.
So work with other agencies like EOC. They have a great youth program, and they stabilize the child, get them used to going back to school, getting them the services they need. We do the same thing with mom. Stabilize mom. Maybe she's got a little bit of substance abuse issues, little mental health. We hook her up to those resources, and then we reunite them again in housing. The nice thing about that is CPS does not have to get involved in that case, and so the family unit does stay together, even though they're not sleeping in the same place. EOC, for example, requires a parent visit them at least once a day and make communication and contact, but they'll help them get to school, and so it gives them a sense of normalcy. We give the mom a sense of normalcy so they can join together in housing, and they have a better luck of staying together. As bad as it sounds, sometimes like, oh, I can't believe you split up the family, it actually has much more success rate once we can stabilize both parties, because our goal is not to go through this situation again. And a lot of times our women and children have gone through many times. Now there are times that we also assist the women if their family has completely broken down and they have lost custody of their children. So we assist them with mental health support and things of that nature. So we help them on both aspects for family unification, and once it's pretty obvious that they can't, no longer handle the situation. So we provide them services. A lot of times the moms, they can't handle their children. The people that we are now encountering have had a history of homelessness of 3 years or more. They have severe mental illness. It could be generational homelessness. So I kind of say like one feels like five, because one is very loud and they're, they got these issues that have never ever been addressed. We at Naomi's House actually take on those cases, and we prioritize those types of cases, and we call them the chronically homeless. So they're harder to work with. A lot of them have very complicated mental health issues, and if anybody's ever gone through mental health, there's no one single cure for it. So it's not something like we could say like, hey, maybe this pill works and that pill doesn't work and whatnot. There's therapies that have to do. That's the beauty of all our programs here, is that we navigate through all those issues and systems to get you stabilized. But here at Naomi's House, we have often 5150 calls, probably 3 or 4 times a week, where they have to need emergency mental health. The women actually make candles for us to sell. We also are doing some art therapy with the Arts Council.
Oh, how fun is that?
So we have an actual art teacher that comes in and teaches the ladies art and, do therapy through art therapy. That's actually been very successful. You can see a couple of their little portraits up there.
Yeah. How cute is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have a cute thing that we do. It's called Naomi's House Store, and the ladies will earn Naomi's House bucks, and they can turn them in to buy hygiene items, jewelry. This is my favorite place in the whole campus.
Oh my gosh.
It's kind of like a serenity garden.
Yeah.
We do have to take safety very important. So the ladies get a fresh set of linens every single night, and they get a fresh set of PJs and shower shoes.
Okay.
And they bring in just a little plastic bag of stuff. We do have storage for them so they can store their items, but we don't want them to store in here for several reasons. One, we are low barrier, so if you are under the influence, you can access services, but we want to make sure you don't bring it in. We're increasing our capacity as much as we can. The day shelter for women and children, and there's a daycare here on site. And women can do their laundry, they can take a showers if they want to, they can also access computers, ESL classes, GED classes, and things of that nature. So what we did was, this is part of the rebuild of our campus, and part of the rebuild of our campus was the improvements to Map Point, collaborative grant between Poverello House, Kingsview, and Central La Familia. Kingsview is the lead agency on that, but we actually run the biggest map point here. Now, there's several map points all throughout the city of Fresno and also the county of Fresno. PG&E bill, we'll try to negotiate with PG&E and refer you to those programs that help you pay your PG&E bill. So we do a whole bunch of different. Graduated, but he still came back and volunteered.
Oh, that was nice.
I'm in aftercare and couldn't make it and came
Oh,
back.
that's right. He's in aftercare, and you're still in program, correct? All right.
3 more months.
So clients have access to all these potential jobs. Also, something from Fresno County Library comes with a DG bus every Friday and helps them with their resume and apply for these jobs. And also help them apply for apartments online if that's a requirement and things like that. So we have 3 navigators here on site. We also utilize interns from Fresno State, University Pacific. Also, what makes Map Point successful is that we have all these agencies that rotate in. We'll have West Care, Turning Point. We have Department of Behavioral Health in the house. Woohoo!
Health clinician. A clinician. Okay. So you're able to qualify what their needs are.
Assess them, you give them a diagnosis, refer them out to their programs.
A veterinarian that comes in, a group comes in called Westside Rescue, and they'll offer them shots and things like that and help them out with their daily care and whatnot. So they do a great job on that.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're able to do this.
Yeah.
We are a minimum 6-month program followed by 6 months of aftercare. Our program itself has a heavy work component, so our guys are working 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, 6 hours on the 6th day, and they have 1 day off. And that's addition to meetings and classes that they attend. Our curriculum is primarily a 12-step base, kind of a combination of 12 steps and cognitive behavioral therapy. A lot of our guys have a history of legal problems as well, so we do have to address behaviors. Many of them have found that even absent of drugs or alcohol, they still have other behaviors that could lead them to further legal problems. We've got a good relationship with the courts and with the probation department. In close communication, informing them of progress or lack thereof. We let them know if the individual is to walk away, we let them know immediately. And so that creates a level of comfort within their agency because they know while a guy is here, he will be kept track of.
Right. Isn't that beautiful? You can back the trucks up.
I know, our doc, we're so excited.
Oh my God.
We needed a way to be able to accommodate.
Before you were only
We do take, like right today we went to Mendota.
Okay.
We provided a free farmer's market and we also served about 100 meals. Part of our improvements were the villages, and we used to have just chemical toilets. Now we have permanent bathrooms and showers. And these are tough sheds, just to note, it's not a tiny home, but there's 2 cots or two basically beds, traditional, not beds in a traditional
So you're
sense.
gonna add more, or
This is probably it for now. Villages, it's a good interim between housing and homelessness because a lot of times the homeless have been homeless for many, many years. And they're not used to 4 walls. And it's hard to, work towards, integrating them back into society. Let's cut office. This is the starting point for many of our clients. What's neat about this is that they can use our physical address to get mail. So if they want to get benefits and IDs and things like that, important documents, they will not send it to a PO box. They will send it to an actual address, so they can use our address here. University Pacific to Fresno State, they help us with our map point, and also Fresno City College helps us with our contact office, because we can go through about 120 pieces of mail. So let me show you our clinic, because what we also do is some of the clients that we get housing for, we try to give them some kind of furniture because they have nothing.
Right.
So,
Oh, okay. So furniture that's in somewhat okay shape.
well, we generally get brand new furniture because we don't really have the ability. We don't sell it. Like a lot of places they sell it. Well, we don't sell it. So the only commercial venture that we have here at POV is our food truck. Occasionally we'll go out and do commercial events. And the proceeds of that program, the food truck, go directly back to the rehab program. Here, that's run by the Holy Cross Center for Women.
So Holy Cross runs this?
Yeah, St. Agnes does.
St.
Yeah,
Agnes.
they provide
Oh, okay.
the doctors volunteer here. They do have a nurse practitioner here, and they have several other medical professionals that come in. Yeah.
That we realized as we had our guys here in the 6-month program, and they were doing good in the structured environment, and they were leaving to go home to the home that they lived in before they came to the program, which was not always safe, didn't always have resources, didn't always have support for their recovery. So we had always had a transitional house of 6 beds, but it was not so incorporated into the program. About a year and a half ago, we sold that house, opened up a 20-bed transitional facility, and that's our workout program. So the guys, after 6 months of residential treatment, then become eligible to participate in this workout program. Some of our guys already have a talent and are employable. Many of our guys don't have much of an employment history. So we have worked with several different employers that know that an individual that's coming through our program at least has a work ethic, which has allowed us to open the door to many of them to find work.
So they get like on the job training, OJT.
Right. Well, they're getting paid as a regular employee now in this job. Another one of some of the other barriers, our guys would have DUI classes that they had to do, but had no means to pay. Domestic violence classes that they had no means to pay. Didn't have a driver's license, didn't have a vehicle. So by participating in this workout program, we will pay for those classes. We will transport you to work. We will assist you in getting your driver's license. And so these guys are now leaving with 6 months to a year of steady outside employment. Sometimes all of their classes, many times most of their classes are behind them, but at least they do have an income now to be able to pay for the rest of those classes. And we've just, with this workout program, noticed a great deal of success in the end result, a sustained recovery. Because within that time, they're still subject to testing, they're still subject to rules, but fewer rules and a lower level of supervision.
So it's not
6 years ago when I came here, we were 6 months and then the guy left. Well, we knew we needed something else. We developed the aftercare, which was just coming in once a week. And aftercare's really just confirmed that our guys are having a hard time when they left. And that's where this workout program came between those two as an opportunity for them to really get on their feet and practice living life.
So that's better.
It really is.
Yeah.
They get their paycheck every week, and I go after them like I worked for that myself. And I collect that and I save that for them. We will never keep a penny of their money, but they get to keep $50 a week pocket money, and they deposit the rest. On average, our guys leave after about a 6-month term with a driver's license, with a full-time job, a savings between $6,000 and $8,000. And
That's wonderful.
we had
That's
one.
a lot of money.
We had one of our participants move into his house that he purchased with money saved. It was a day or so before New Year's Eve this year. He stayed a little bit longer. He stayed an extra 6 months. So he was able to put the down payment on his house. He had his job for a year. Poverello House gifted him a vehicle because of his hard work. And we were also able to help him out a little bit in furnishing his new home.
Wow.
Our guys went over, did the yard, cleaned up the yard, helped to move everything in, and it's just a great experience. And it's also very encouraging for the next guy to see, hey, this guy was in the same boat I was in a year ago.
An example of success, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's wonderful. Cruz Avila, the CEO
Correct,
of Poverello House.
Yes.
and he was sharing that my concern was some of the homeless are almost like running up to the edge of the freeway these days, and he was sharing, what was that?
Yeah, so we have a lot of long-standing relationships with all law enforcement. Excuse me. So with the sheriff's department, PD, Fresno PD, and then also CHP, because it depends on the area that you're in within the city or county on where their jurisdictions are at. And so we even work with with folks that are, wow, the name is slipping, Coast Guard. There's even Coast Guard that we even work with as well, that PD works with because in Fresno, because of the riverbanks and because of the water areas that they may patrol as well. So when you have all these partnerships, I mean, there's a lot of communication that needs to take place. And so sometimes when there's so much going on throughout the city, some of that communication gets lost. But at the end of the day, it's not in a negative, it's in a positive, because all these organizations are working together with the faith-based organizations, nonprofits, for-profits, I mean, law enforcement. You have all these sectors that are coming together to work together. And so there's a lot of tasks at hand, right? And so if we're able to work with all our community partners in a neutral and a stable level, then that's where the job gets done. And then that's where those calls take place. And that's where you start seeing the approach and the depth of services that are taking place throughout partnerships like ourselves, being Poverello, that we work with all our clients that are coming in. And that's just one entity, one piece of it all, right? There's so much more that goes in.
It's a city within a city.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Sarah gave you the grand tour and showing all the services that we have at Poverello, and really folks didn't know that we had all this here. I mean, we did 2 or 3 tours today with various leaders in the community and groups that were totally unaware of what it is that we're doing, and we've been in their backyard for many years. I mean, the Poverello's been here since 1973 when Papa Mike and his wife Mary opened up the doors for us all, and it's a true blessing on why we're here now, because we're continuing Papa Mike's legacy on what he created back in '73.
Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. And I think that the sooner they're off the street, the sooner that they start to feel better. I mean, just getting a clean shower and clean clothes is a plus. That changes someone's attitude right there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of approaches. We look at this as a working document. Everyone has their different perspective. Everyone has their strengths of expertise, and so this week there's a lot of meetings taking place that will hopefully answer some of those questions. I know that there has been a lot of conversations of, what is the next step, and that's what we're going to do this week. We're actually sitting down and talking to a consultant that's coming from out of state to be able to work with us here, and this is her second trip down, Barbara Poppy, who's coming out and really addressing some of those concerns or issues or strengths, highlights, however folks want to look at it, on what the next step is. And so us as an organization at Poverello, we truly believe in what it is that we do. I've always said this, and I'll continue to say this time and time again, is that it takes a very special person to work here at the Poverello House. And so when you look at all our family here, because that's what we are here as family, we finish each other's sentences. We have the commitment. We have the passion that leads to that commitment to work with each and every one of the individuals, the human beings that are stepping onto our campus, because at the end of the day, that can be a mother of ours, that can be a brother, a family member, whoever it may be. And so we put ourselves in their shoes. We look through their eyes and say, what is it that if I was in their shoes, what am I asking for? What is it that I need? And not be afraid to ask for it. Because at the end of the day, that's what we do. We're richer than live spirits of all who pass our way.
Right. I mean, it's hard when you're on the other side of the spectrum, being homeless, and you're right. They're not going to ask for certain things because they're like, oh my God, should I do that? Is that too much? Am I overstepping? I mean, here I am, a visitor.
Sure.
That's true.
And we, everyone that comes through our doors and gates on a day-to-day basis, 365 days out of the year, we never close. Even on holidays, we run on a holiday schedule. So we're here for our clients. The only day that we truly ever closed down, which is closed down the operations, but we still gave out the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, was when our founder, Papa Mike, passed last year. But other than that, the gates and doors have been open 365 days out of the year. And so for us, the client is the reason why we're here. I mean, Sarah Mahardy, our Chief Program Officer, always says this, and you know, I really admire that, is that, you know, it is the beacon of hope. It's the beacon of hope that we provide. We're truly feeding the soul. That's one thing that we do each and every day. And by feeding the soul, we're giving them warmth, we're giving them shelter, we're giving them a safe haven, everything that surrounds them to make them feel like an individual again, like a human being. You know, it doesn't, it takes away that black cloud. Oh my gosh, they're a homeless. No, they're an individual, just like each and every one of us that have a job, that drive a car, that go into work every day. There's no difference.
They just need a little special hand.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things for us. It's the warm handshake, the warm hand off of what we do when we're linking clients to where it is that they need to go and in their journey and their path. And we're humbled and blessed that we can provide that here
You've
at
done
the
an amazing
Poverello.
job. The new warehouse, that's huge.
And that's all community, right? And I'm sure Sarah talked about it. It's you know, going from a 9,000 square foot warehouse to almost 20,000, and that's covered patio for our and deck for our food truck that goes out to the rural communities. And so you have all these blessings that come with the services that we provide, and it wouldn't be provided if we didn't have the staff capacity and the blessings of all the individuals that work here to see each client all the way through from A to Z.
Well, Sarah was sharing that now you're going out to Huron. And so you're doing all 10 counties of Fresno, of Central California now?
So we have, so within the grant that was written, that Sarah wrote for the food truck to be able to go out to, but also working with Dr. Joaquin Arambula and his Assembly 31, and his chief of staff and all their folks that we work with Fresno State, all these entities and all these partnerships that we work with to really provide for these communities. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's working with all the folks. It's not just Poverello doing everything, although we are linking clients to all these organizations, but because we know how to work well with community members. We know how to navigate our clients through the system, how to case manage, how to really communicate well with other organizations. That's one of the biggest things for us, is that's what the success is leading to with our clients, because of the customer service and the respect that each and every client are getting once they leave our gates and doors every day.
So do you see Poverello opening satellite offices in various?
You know, that's a question that they've often asked myself and Sarah as we're at meetings from the city level, the county level, even at the state level too, because they've recognized Papa Mike and the work that he did and how he started the organization. And so time will tell. It's if there's a huge need for it, if there is an ongoing ask, then, you know, obviously we sit down with our board and we talk about this. We discuss internally within our executive team to see what is that next step. We're in the middle of our strategic planning process as we speak for the next 3 to 5 years, what the POV looks like, what it is that we're going to be doing, and continuing the same mission, same vision, but just, you know, adding more depth to what it is that we do each and every day.
Yeah.
I know. We did the research, and I say we as an organization, but really Sarah looking at all the demographics, the geographics, you know, looking at the poverty rate. I mean, everything. We had to really dig down deep, and that's, once again, it's not that I'm trying to say that the Poverello is better than any other organization, because that's not the case, but I do know that our organization truly understands the client as they are and for who they are, not for what they represent, but how we can help them represent themselves back to feel like themselves again.
Yeah, and it's just multiplying.
And we'll continue to say it, is that it's the empathy versus sympathy, right? I mean, when people sympathize for the cause, or they, they're writing a check to an organization, then, it's just something that they do each and every day. It's just like a culture thing. You get up, you brush your teeth, you take a shower if you're able to, you drive a car, whatever the culture is. But when you empathize with something, it's because you've actually gone through it. And most of our donors, if not 90% of our donors, have empathized with something that's taken place in either their personal lives, or it's affected them through their work or through their day-to-day operations. That's how they empathize with the POV, to say, okay, without a doubt, we are going to donate each and every month or every year to the Poverello. And so as we educate the community more and more, you're going from the sympathy to the empathy. And so that's when I know that our family here is making headway.
And that's wonderful. So you're getting out there and doing that education.
It's a must. It's a must. And as you know, we're I wouldn't be in the position that I am today as a CEO if I didn't do the groundwork, if I wasn't out there speaking with clients, sitting behind my desk for the most part, you know, tending to emails, doing phone calls, returning phone calls, messages, but that's only like 10% of my job. The other 90% is actually doing the work and, you know, working with the Sarah Merhardys, the Krista Beavers, the Paul Stacks. I mean, it just really the David Noyes who you interviewed, and really making sure that we have an impact in the community, and really having that footprint on what it is that we do, and not because we're trying to have like the limelight or say, hey, look what we're doing. No, it's about our work speaks for itself. Our clients are the ones referring other clients back to us. It's not us going out there and saying, hey, look at all we have. It's clients saying, hey, listen, don't be talking crap about the POV, because they truly help folks get to where they need to go. And if you talk crap about them again, then you know it's clients take care of themselves out on the streets, right? It's
Isn't that interesting?
It is. It's very interesting.
It's protection, and that was very impressive what David was saying. That
Yeah.
he walked away with $6,000. I mean, people, everyday people working a full-time job don't even walk away to save that amount of money in a year's time. You know, they spend it here and there, and that's, I mean, that really changed that man's life.
And those are the stories that we're not promoting. We're not, oh, hey, come look at this. We don't need to do that. It's the success stories that are taking place. We're not in front of the camera trying to highlight our client stories. The clients themselves are highlighting their own stories within the community of, obviously, you know, one of David's residents in his rehab program, and folks don't know that about the POV.
Yeah, that's
So,
very impressive. Well, I thank you